Hello there, and welcome to Simple Sleepy Science. Tonight, we're exploring dreams, and you've already had thousands of them. Every night, your brain creates entire worlds, complete stories, full of people and places that never existed. It does this in total darkness, while your body lies completely still. Right now, inside your skull sits the most powerful dream factory in the universe, and in a few hours, it's going to switch on again. This is a place for calm curiosity and gentle rest. So, get comfortable, settle into your bed, let your body relax, and let's discover what happens inside your head when you sleep. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so you don't miss more calming stories tomorrow, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and what time it is there. We love hearing from you. Now, let's talk about the dream factory inside your head. Your brain doesn't stop when you sleep. It gets busy, really busy. While you're lying there, eyes closed, body still, your brain switches into a different mode. A mode built for making dreams. This happens during something called REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. During this phase, your eyes dart around beneath your eyelids, fast, random, like they're watching something. And they are. They're watching your dreams. Your brain during REM sleep looks almost identical to your waking brain. If someone hooked you up to sensors, they'd see waves of activity, flashes of electricity, entire regions lighting up. From the outside, you look peaceful. From the inside, you're experiencing a full movie. But here's what makes it magical. Your brain creates these dreams from scratch. It pulls memories from storage, mixes them with emotions, adds random signals firing between neurons. Then somehow, impossibly, it weaves all of this into stories that feel completely real. Think of it like a painter. During the day, your brain collects colors, faces you saw, conversations you had, places you visited, feelings you felt. At night, it takes all those colors and paints something new. Sometimes the painting makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. But it always feels vivid. The part of your brain that handles logic, the part that says, wait, this doesn't make sense. That part mostly sleeps during dreams. So, when you're flying or talking to someone who died years ago, or walking through your childhood home, that's somehow also your office, you don't question it. You just experience it. Your brain also paralyzes your body during REM sleep. It's a safety feature. Otherwise, you'd act out your dreams. You'd actually run when you dream about running. Actually, throw punches when you dream about fighting. So, your brain sends signals down your spine that basically say, don't move. Your muscles go limp. You lie there, safe and still, while your mind runs wild. This paralysis is so complete that if you wake up during REM sleep, sometimes the paralysis hasn't worn off yet. That's what sleep paralysis is. Your mind wakes up, but your body is still locked. It only lasts seconds, but it feels longer. Don't worry though, it's completely harmless. Just your brain and body getting their timing slightly off. Every night, you cycle through different sleep stages. Light sleep, deep sleep, then REM sleep. The cycle repeats. 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a night. And each time you hit REM, you dream. Early in the night, These dreams are short, just a few minutes. But as morning approaches, your REM phases get longer. Your final dream before waking might last 20 or 30 minutes. That's your brain, building worlds, creating stories, mixing memory and imagination into something that feels absolutely real while it's happening. And it does this every single night. But here's something strange about all those dreams you create each night. You forget most of them. Not some of them. Most of them. About 95% of your dreams vanish within 5 minutes of waking up. They slip away like water through your fingers. One moment, you're remembering a vivid adventure. The next moment, it's gone. Just fragments, a face, a feeling, nothing more. This isn't a flaw in your memory. It's actually by design. The same brain chemistry that creates dreams also prevents them from being stored as memories. During REM sleep, your brain reduces production of a chemical called norepinephrine. This chemical is crucial for forming long-term memories. Without enough of it, your dreams don't get filed away in the same way your waking experiences do. Think about your day yesterday. You can probably remember key moments, conversations, where you went, what you ate. Your brain tagged those as real events and stored them properly. But your dreams from last night? Unless you woke up right in the middle of one and thought about it immediately, they're probably gone. This happens for a good reason. Your brain needs to know what's real and what isn't. If you remembered every dream as clearly as real events, life would get confusing fast. Did you actually have that conversation with your friend, or did you dream it? Did that embarrassing thing really happen, or was it a nightmare? Your brain protects you from this confusion by making dreams naturally forgettable. The dreams you do remember usually come from one of two situations. Either you woke up during or right after the dream, or the dream was so emotionally intense that it broke through the memory barrier. Strong emotions can override the usual forgetting process. That's why you remember nightmares more often than pleasant dreams. Fear is a powerful memory marker. Here's what makes it even more interesting. The act of waking up interrupts the forgetting process. If your alarm goes off during REM sleep, you might catch a dream in progress. It's still fresh, still vivid. You have maybe 30 seconds to think about it before it starts fading. People who remember dreams regularly are often people who wake up naturally multiple times during the night. Each wake-up gives them a chance to catch a dream before it dissolves. You can improve dream recall if you want to. Keep a journal by your bed. The moment you wake up, before you move or check your phone, write down anything you remember, even fragments. The act of writing strengthens the memory traces. But most people don't do this. And that's perfectly fine. Forgetting dreams is natural, normal, healthy. Some researchers think we forget dreams specifically because they're not meant to be remembered. Dreams serve their purpose during sleep. They process emotions, sort memories, keep your brain active. But once that work is done, there's no biological need to remember them. It would be like remembering every individual heartbeat from yesterday. Unnecessary information that would clutter your mind. So when you wake up tomorrow with only the vaguest sense that you dreamed about something, don't feel like you missed anything important. Your brain did its job while you slept. The dreams served their purpose. and now they've quietly stepped aside, making room for your waking day. Your mind is protecting you, keeping the boundary between sleep and wake clear, between imagination and reality, between the dream world and this one. Which brings us to people who say they never dream at all. Maybe you're one of them. You close your eyes, sleep happens, then you wake up. Nothing in between. No stories, no images, no dreams, just blank darkness for 8 hours. But here's what science tells us. You do dream. Every single night, multiple times. You just don't remember any of it. Scientists can prove this in sleep labs. They hook people up to machines that measure brain activity. They watch for REM sleep, those rapid eye movements, the specific brainwave patterns, and they see it happen. Every person, every night, enters REM sleep and shows all the signs of dreaming. Then, the scientists wake the person up during REM sleep, and suddenly, those people who claim they never dream start describing vivid scenes, conversations, strange scenarios, full dreams. They're always surprised. They had no idea this was happening every night. The difference between people who remember dreams and people who don't isn't about whether they dream. Everyone dreams. The difference is in how deeply they sleep and when they wake up. Deep sleepers who sleep straight through until morning rarely catch their dreams. They never wake up during REM. They never interrupt the forgetting process. So the dreams dissolve completely before morning. Your brain is still creating those worlds, still building those stories, still mixing memories and emotions into strange narratives. You're just not catching them. It's like a TV playing in a room you never enter. The show is running. You're just not there to watch it. And that's completely normal. About 30% of people rarely remember their dreams. Some researchers think it might even be linked to how well you sleep. The better you sleep, the less you wake up. The less you wake up, the fewer dreams you catch. So, if you never remember dreams, it might mean you're sleeping really well. That's not a problem. That's a blessing. Think of it like stars during the day. They're still there, still shining, still billions of miles away, doing what stars do. You just can't see them because the sun is too bright. Your dreams are like that. Always there, always happening, just hidden behind the wall of deep sleep. Some people feel like they're missing out. They hear friends talk about wild dreams and feel left out. But remember what we just learned. You're not missing the dreams themselves. Your brain is still doing all that important work during REM sleep. Still processing emotions. Still sorting memories. Still keeping itself healthy and active. You're getting all the benefits. You're just not getting the morning recap. In fact, not remembering dreams might make mornings easier. You wake up fresh, ready for the day, not confused by lingering dream emotions or trying to figure out what some weird dream meant. You get a clean transition from sleep to wake. No blurry boundary, just rest, then consciousness. Your dreams exist in a space you don't visit consciously, like the back of your own head. You can't see it, but you know it's there. You trust it's doing its job. Your dreams are the same, always working, always there, just beyond the reach of your waking memory. And tonight, whether you remember it or not, you'll dream again. When you do catch a dream, something strange happens with time. You might remember an epic journey, a full day of adventures, conversations with dozens of people, traveling across cities or countries, complex plots with twists and turns. It feels like hours passed, maybe even days. But that entire dream probably lasted 20 minutes, maybe less. Your brain compresses time in dreams. It packs massive amounts of story into tiny windows of REM sleep. Early in the night, your first dream might last only 5 minutes. By morning, your longest dream might stretch to half an hour, but rarely longer. Yet in those minutes, you can live what feels like a lifetime. Scientists aren't completely sure how this works. Time in dreams doesn't follow normal rules. You don't experience it second by second the way you do when awake. Instead, your brain seems to create a sense of time passing without actually living through every moment. Think about how memory works when you're awake. You don't remember every second of your day. Your brain records key moments and fills in the gaps. You know you drove to work this morning, but you can't recall every turn of the wheel. Your brain gives you the highlights and lets you assume the rest happened. Dreams work similarly, but even more compressed. Your brain creates the feeling that time passed. It gives you key scenes. A beginning, some middle parts, an end. Your mind fills in the sense that other stuff happened between those scenes. You wake up with the impression of a long experience, when really you only saw brief flashes. This is why dream logic doesn't bother you while you're dreaming. You're suddenly in a different location, and you don't question how you got there. You're talking to someone new, and you don't wonder where the previous person went. Your brain skips the transitions, and you accept it completely. Movies do this too. A character goes to bed in one scene and wakes up in the next. You don't need to watch them sleep for 8 hours. You understand time passed. Dreams are like movies your brain makes without cameras. Just the important moments strung together with a sense of time between them. The longest dreams happen during your final REM cycle before waking. This is usually in the early morning. Your REM periods get progressively longer as the night goes on. Your first dream might be 5 minutes. Your last one might be 30. This is why the dream you remember most clearly is often the one from right before your alarm goes off. It's the longest and the most recent. But even 30 minutes of actual dreaming can feel like hours of experience. Your brain is that efficient at creating the illusion of time. It's the same skill that lets you watch a 2-hour movie that covers years of story. You accept the time jumps. You feel the passage of time without living every moment. So that dream where you went through an entire relationship, from meeting someone to years later, that probably happened in 10 minutes. That dream where you traveled across the world and had adventures in multiple countries, maybe 15 minutes. Your brain is a master of compression. Time is flexible in dreams, fluid, not measured in seconds, but in the feeling of moments passing. And your brain creates that feeling faster than you'd ever imagine possible. But despite all this time compression and logic bending, your dreams aren't just random chaos. They follow patterns, structures, rules. Your dreams tell stories, not always good stories, not always stories that make sense when you wake up. But while you're dreaming, they follow a narrative arc. Beginning, middle, end, conflict, resolution. Your brain is a natural storyteller, even when you're unconscious. Think about the last dream you remember. It probably started somewhere. You were in a place, doing something. Then something changed. A problem appeared. Someone showed up. You needed to go somewhere or find something. The dream had momentum. It was going somewhere, even if that somewhere was weird. This isn't an accident. Your brain structures dreams the same way humans have structured stories for thousands of years. Setup, complication, climax, resolution. We find this pattern in ancient myths, modern movies, and your dreams last Tuesday night. Researchers have studied dream reports from thousands of people. They found consistent narrative patterns. Dreams have protagonists, usually you. They have other characters who help or hinder. They have goals, even if those goals are strange. Find the bathroom in a building with infinite doors. Get to class, but you can't remember which room. Escape from something chasing you. These are classic story structures. Quest narratives, obstacle courses, chase scenes. Your sleeping brain reaches for the same narrative tools that storytellers have used forever. Even bizarre dreams follow story logic internally. Yes, your best friend might suddenly turn into your third-grade teacher. Yes, you might be able to breathe underwater or fly. But within the dream's own rules, things make sense. If you're underwater, you explore underwater. If you can fly, you use flying to solve the dream's problems. The dream has internal consistency. This happens because your brain is always trying to make meaning, always trying to create coherence. During the day, it takes the chaos of sensory input and creates a smooth, understandable experience. At night, it takes random neural firing, memory fragments, and emotional processing and weaves them into narratives. The stories your dreams tell often revolve around basic human experiences. Being chased, being lost, being unprepared, being amazed, being loved, being afraid. These are universal themes, the same themes that appear in stories across every culture. Your brain doesn't need to learn story structure, it's built in. This is part of why dreams feel meaningful, even when they're strange. Your brain has given them narrative weight, setup and payoff, tension and release. Even if the content is absurd, the structure signals that something important is happening, that this means something. Sometimes, dreams tell complete stories with clear endings. You solve the problem. You find what you were looking for. You escape the danger. Other times, you wake up mid-story. The narrative interrupted. This can feel frustrating, like closing a book before the last chapter. Your brain was building towards something, and you never got to see how it ended. But finished or not, your dreams are stories. Every single night, you're the author, director, and star of elaborate narratives. You create plots without trying, generate characters without thinking, build worlds without planning. Your sleeping brain is a storytelling machine, and it never stops writing. And while your brain is busy creating these stories, it's also protecting something precious: your sleep itself. Dreams might exist partly to keep you asleep, to guard your rest from the outside world. Your brain doesn't want you waking up every time a car passes by, or a door closes, or your phone buzzes. So it does something clever. It weaves external sounds and sensations into your dreams. That alarm clock ringing? In your dream, it becomes a phone call, a doorbell, a fire alarm in the dream building. Your brain hears the real sound and quickly writes it into the story you're already experiencing. This buys you a few extra seconds or even minutes of sleep before you actually wake up. Someone talking in another room becomes a conversation in your dream. A dog barking outside becomes a dog in your dream world. The pressure of needing to use the bathroom becomes a dream about searching for a bathroom. Your brain is constantly translating real sensations into dream content. This happens so smoothly, you usually don't notice it. The dream version feels completely natural. You don't think, "Oh, that must be my alarm." You think, someone's phone is ringing, and you keep dreaming. Your brain has successfully protected your sleep for a little longer. Sometimes this protection is obvious. You're cold because your blanket fell off. In your dream, you're suddenly walking through snow or standing in a freezer. You're hot because your room is too warm. Your dream puts you in a desert or on a beach in summer. The translation is direct. Your brain is telling you what your body feels, but wrapping it in dream logic so you don't fully wake up. Light works the same way. Morning sun hitting your face might become a bright light in your dream. A spotlight, a window opening, headlights from a car. Your brain takes the real input and makes it fit the story rather than letting it pull you out of sleep. This is why you can sleep through relatively loud noises if you're deeply asleep. Your brain is actively working to keep you down. It's running interference between the outside world and your consciousness. Only when something is too loud, too jarring, or too important does your brain give up and let you wake. Think of your brain as a guard at the gate of sleep. Most disturbances get turned away or disguised. Only real threats get through. A whisper becomes dream dialogue. A gentle touch becomes a dream sensation. But a loud crash or someone shaking you awake, that breaks through the barrier. This protective quality of dreams means that good sleep happens partly because your brain is good at storytelling. The better it is at incorporating disturbances into dreams, the longer you stay asleep. The more creative the translation, the more protected your rest becomes. Your dreams are bodyguards. They stand between you and the waking world. They take the sounds and sensations that could wake you and transform them into story elements. They keep you in the narrative, keep you in sleep, keep you resting. And when something finally is important enough to wake you, when your alarm is too loud or the disturbance too great, your dreams step aside, they dissolve, and you return to the waking world, hopefully more rested because they kept watch while you slept. Humans aren't the only ones who dream. Animals do it too. Watch a sleeping dog. Its paws twitch. Its legs move like it's running. Little whimpers and barks escape. The dog is dreaming, almost certainly dreaming about running, chasing, playing. The things dogs do when they're awake. Cats do this too. They'll sleep, curled up peacefully. Then suddenly, their paws start moving. Their whiskers twitch. Their tails flick. They're hunting in their dreams, chasing prey that doesn't exist, practicing the skills they'd use in the wild. Scientists have confirmed this with brain scans. When mammals sleep, they show the same REM patterns humans do, the same rapid eye movements, the same brain activity in regions associated with memory and emotion, the same muscle paralysis to keep them from acting out their dreams. Rats dream about running mazes. Researchers taught rats to navigate complex paths during the day. At night, they measured the rat's brain activity during sleep. The exact same neurons fired in the exact same patterns as when the rats were awake and running the maze. The rats were replaying their day, practicing, reinforcing the paths they'd learned. Birds show REM sleep too. Songbirds, especially young ones learning their songs, appear to dream about singing. Scientists recorded their brain activity and found patterns matching actual song production. The birds were rehearsing in their sleep, going over the notes, perfecting their calls without making a sound. Even some reptiles might dream, though this is harder to prove. Bearded dragons show sleep patterns that look like primitive REM, not as developed as mammals, not as clear, but something dreamlike appears to be happening in their ancient brains. This tells us something important. Dreaming isn't some strange accident of human consciousness. It's old, really old. It evolved hundreds of millions of years ago, back when our ancestors were still learning to survive on land. Dreaming has been around longer than most of what makes us human. Why would nature keep dreaming around for so long? Because it's useful. Animals that dream are animals that practice survival skills in their sleep. The dog dreams of chasing because chasing is how wild dogs hunt. The cat dreams of pouncing because pouncing is how cats catch prey. The rat dreams of navigation because finding food and avoiding danger requires good spatial memory. Dreams are training simulations. They're how the brain stays sharp, how it rehearses important skills, how it processes the day's experiences and files them away properly. This works for animals just like it works for humans. Your pet isn't just twitching randomly in sleep. They're living another life in their dreams, running through forests they've never seen, chasing creatures they've never met, following instincts coded into their DNA from thousands of generations past. And this ancient process connects us. You and your dog are both dreaming tonight, both running simulations, both processing the day, both doing this thing that mammals have done since before humans existed. It's a shared experience across species, across millions of years of evolution. Dreaming isn't uniquely human. It's a gift we share with countless other creatures. A reminder that we're part of something larger, something old, something that links all sleeping minds together in the quiet hours of night. If dreaming is ancient and universal across species, it starts even earlier than you might think. Babies dream more than anyone. A newborn spends about half of their sleep time in REM, sometimes more. For the first few months of life, infants are dreaming constantly, hours and hours every day, far more than adults, far more than older children even. This seems strange at first. What could a newborn possibly dream about? They've barely experienced anything. No memories of school or work or relationships. No complex emotions to process. No learned skills to practice. So, what fills their dreams? Scientists think infant dreams might be different from adult dreams. Less about replaying experiences and more about building the brain itself. A newborn's brain is growing incredibly fast, making millions of new connections every day, learning to see, hear, feel mom. Dreams might be part of that construction process. Think of it as test runs. The baby's brain practices seeing even when their eyes are closed. It fires up visual circuits, creating patterns and shapes. Not meaningful images yet, just the raw experience of vision. The brain learning what seeing feels like. The same happens with movement. The baby's brain sends signals to muscles, then locks them down with dream paralysis. It's rehearsing movement without actually moving, preparing the body for crawling, reaching, grasping. All the motor skills that will come later start as dream rehearsals. Even in the womb, fetuses show something that looks like REM sleep. Starting around 7 months of development, they're dreaming before they're born, before they've seen light or heard clear sounds or experienced the world outside. Their brains are already active, already building themselves through something dreamlike. What do those prenatal dreams contain? Nobody knows for sure. Maybe just sensations. The sound of the mother's heartbeat, the feeling of movement, the taste of amniotic fluid. Basic experiences being processed and filed. The brain creating its first rough maps of reality. As babies grow, their dreams probably change. A 6-month-old who's seen faces and colors and shapes might dream about those things. A 1-year-old learning to walk might dream about movement and balance. The dreams grow more complex as the child's experience grows. But babies never tell us what they dream. They can't. By the time children can talk about dreams, they're already past the phase of constant REM sleep. We have to guess based on brain activity and behavior. The twitches, the facial expressions, the eye movements under closed lids. What we know for certain is that all this dreaming is important. Babies deprived of REM sleep show developmental problems. The brain needs this dream time to grow properly, to wire itself correctly, to prepare for the enormous task of being conscious in a complex world. So, when you see a sleeping baby, know that they're not just resting, they're working. Their brain is building itself, creating the foundations of thought and memory and personality. Dreams are the scaffolding, the framework being assembled piece by piece. Every adult alive once spent half their life dreaming, back when the brain was new and everything was being built for the first time. Those early dreams helped make you who you are today, even though you'll never remember a single one of them. Dreams don't just build brains in babies. They maintain and heal brains throughout your entire life, especially when it comes to emotions. Had a bad day? Your dreams will probably work on it tonight. Dreams are like therapy sessions your brain runs while you're unconscious. They take the emotional experiences from your day, especially the difficult ones, and replay them, process them, soften them, help you make sense of what you felt. This happens through a specific mechanism. During REM sleep, your brain reactivates the emotional memories. You relive moments from the day. But here's the key part. While this is happening, your stress chemistry is turned down. The chemicals that make you feel anxious or afraid are reduced during REM sleep. So you're experiencing the memory without the full intensity of the original emotion. It's like exposure therapy. Your brain shows you the difficult thing again, but in a safer context. A context where the emotional punch is softened. This helps you process what happened without being overwhelmed by it. Studies show that people who get good REM sleep after a traumatic or stressful event handle it better emotionally than people who don't. The dreams did their work. They took the sharp edges off the memory. They integrated it into your experience without letting it become a source of ongoing distress. You can see this in your own dreams. Maybe you had an argument with someone during the day. That night, you might dream about conflict, not necessarily the same argument. Maybe a different conflict entirely, but your brain is working on the same emotional territory, processing anger, practicing resolution, finding ways to cope with tension. Or maybe something embarrassing happened. You made a mistake at work, said something awkward. That night, you might dream about other embarrassing situations. Your brain is working through shame and self-consciousness, learning to integrate these feelings, helping you accept that mistakes happen. Dreams don't solve your problems. They don't give you clear answers about what to do, but they help you feel differently about what happened. They take the emotional heat out of memories. They give you distance, perspective. They turn fresh wounds into healing scars. This is why sleep is so important after difficult experiences. Your brain needs that dream time to process what happened. Without it, emotions stay raw. Memories stay sharp and painful. The integration doesn't happen properly. People with PTSD often have disrupted REM sleep. Their dreams can't do the normal processing work. The traumatic memories stay overwhelming. The emotions don't soften. This is part of why trauma is so persistent. The brain's natural healing process gets blocked. But for everyday stress, dreams are remarkably effective. You go to bed upset and wake up feeling better. Not because you forgot what happened, not because time magically healed you, but because your brain spent hours working on it while you slept, replaying it, reframing it, reducing its emotional power. Your dreams are emotional first aid. They're your brain's way of taking care of you, of making sure difficult experiences don't break you, of helping you wake up ready to face another day. Tonight, whatever you're carrying from today, your dreams will work on it. They'll take the weight, process it, help you carry it more lightly tomorrow. But while your dreaming brain is busy healing emotions and building stories, some basic things simply don't work. Reading is one of them. Try to read text in a dream and something strange happens. The words shift, they blur, they change into different words when you look back at them. Letters rearrange themselves. Sentences that seemed clear a moment ago become gibberish. Look at a clock in a dream. It shows an impossible time, maybe 87:43. Maybe the hands point in directions that don't make sense. Look away and look back. The time has changed completely. Not because time passed, because the clock can't stay stable in dreams. This happens because different parts of your brain sleep at different depths. The language centers, the parts that handle reading and processing text, they quiet down during REM sleep. They're not fully offline, but they're not working properly either. Your visual brain is wide awake, creating vivid images, but your reading brain is basically napping. So, when your dream generates a book, or a sign, or a text message, your visual brain creates the image of text. It looks like writing, but your language brain can't actually generate stable, meaningful words. So the text is fake. Dream text. It shifts and changes because there's no linguistic processor keeping it consistent. Numbers work the same way. Your mathematical thinking is reduced during dreams. So phones show wrong numbers. Addresses don't make sense. Prices are impossible. Math is handled by brain regions that sleep more deeply during REM. Without them, numbers become decorative rather than functional. This is part of why dream logic doesn't bother you while dreaming. The part of your brain that would say, "Wait, that clock says 92:75, that's impossible," is the same part that can't read properly. Your logical, analytical thinking is dampened. Your critical reasoning is turned down. So you accept the impossible numbers and shifting text without question. Some people can read a little in dreams, usually just a word or two. Short phrases that stay stable, long enough to grasp. But longer passages always dissolve, always shift into something else. The dreaming brain just can't maintain that level of linguistic complexity. This creates interesting problems in dreams. You need to check an important message, but the words keep changing. You're taking a test, but the questions won't hold still. You're looking for an address, but the numbers rearrange every time you look. These are common dream frustrations that come from this cognitive gap. It's the same with faces sometimes. Your brain can create faces of people you know because those are stored as complete memories. But creating new faces or maintaining complex visual details requires different processing. Sometimes, dream faces shift and change. Sometimes, you know who someone is even though they don't look right. Your dreaming brain is incredibly powerful at some things. Creating emotions, building worlds, telling stories, generating vivid sensory experiences. But reading, calculating, logical analysis, these functions are deliberately reduced, turned down so other processes can run at full power. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Your brain has limited resources even in sleep. It prioritizes emotional processing and memory consolidation over linguistic precision. The trade-off makes sense. You need emotional healing more than you need to read dream newspapers. While most dreams shift and change every night, some dreams come back, over and over. The same scenario, the same feeling, the same story your brain keeps telling. These are recurring dreams, and they usually mean something. Maybe you keep dreaming about being back in school. You have a test you didn't study for, or you can't find your classroom, or you've somehow forgotten your schedule and you're wandering lost through hallways. This is one of the most common recurring dreams adults have. Or maybe it's about being chased, something pursuing you. You can't run fast enough. You can't get away. The details change, but the core feeling stays the same. That sense of threat, of needing to escape. Some people dream repeatedly about a specific place, a house they've never seen in waking life, but that appears in dreams over and over. Sometimes it's the same house from childhood, but different. Rooms that weren't there before. Hallways that lead nowhere. Recurring dreams happen because your brain is working on something unresolved. Some tension in your life that hasn't been processed fully. Some emotion that keeps surfacing. Your brain brings you back to the same symbolic territory because the work isn't done yet. The school dream often represents feeling unprepared, anxiety about performance, worry that you're not ready for something in your current life. The actual school and test are just symbols, your brain's way of expressing that feeling of being evaluated and found wanting. The chase dream typically points to avoidance, something you're running from in your waking life, a problem you haven't faced, a conversation you're putting off, a fear you won't acknowledge. Your brain creates the chase because that's what avoidance feels like, something gaining on you that you can't escape forever. Dreams about houses often relate to your sense of self. The house represents you. New rooms are new aspects of yourself you're discovering. Old houses are past versions of yourself. Damaged houses might reflect feeling broken or incomplete. The architecture of the dream house mirrors your internal landscape. Not all recurring dreams are about problems. Some people have wonderful recurring dreams, flying dreams that come back throughout their life. Dreams of beautiful places they return to again and again. These might represent freedom, joy, or a deep sense of peace that your brain wants to revisit. The frequency of recurring dreams often changes with your life situation. When the underlying issue resolves, the dream usually stops. People who have the school test dream for years suddenly stop having it once they feel more confident in their work. The chase dreams end when you face what you've been avoiding. Your brain isn't trying to torture you with these repetitive scenarios. It's trying to help you, pointing you towards something that needs attention, giving you a symbolic space to work through feelings you might not be processing during the day. If you have a recurring dream, it's worth thinking about what it might represent. Not in some mystical way, just honestly. What feeling does this dream create? What situations in your waking life create similar feelings? Your brain is showing you something, not through complex symbolism, but through emotional truth. The dream repeats until you hear what it's trying to say. Sometimes dreams don't just process emotions or signal unresolved tensions. Sometimes they create something entirely new, something brilliant. Dreams spark creativity in ways waking thought can't match. Dmitri Mendeleev struggled for years to organize the chemical elements. He knew they had patterns, but couldn't figure out the arrangement. Then one night, he dreamed the answer. He saw the elements falling into place in a table. When he woke up, he wrote it down, the periodic table, one of the most important tools in chemistry. Born in a dream, Paul McCartney woke up one morning with a complete melody in his head. He went straight to the piano and played it. The tune was so good, he was convinced he must have heard it somewhere before. He asked everyone he knew if they recognized it. Nobody did. It was completely original. He'd dreamed Yesterday, which became one of the most covered songs in history. Mary Shelley conceived Frankenstein in a dream. The image of a scientist reanimating a corpse came to her while sleeping. She woke up terrified and immediately started writing. The dream gave her the central image that became one of literature's most enduring stories. This happens because the dreaming brain makes connections differently than the waking brain. During the day, your thinking follows logical paths. A leads to B, leads to C. You rule out ideas that don't make immediate sense. You stay within boundaries of what seems reasonable. But during dreams, your brain ignores those boundaries. It connects things that have no business being connected. It combines concepts from completely different domains. It tries combinations that waking logic would reject immediately. Most of these combinations are nonsense, but occasionally they're genius. Scientists call this distant association. Your brain during REM sleep can link memories and ideas that are far apart in your mental network. Things you'd never think to put together while awake suddenly merge in dreams. Sometimes these mergers reveal solutions to problems your conscious mind couldn't crack. This is why sleeping on a problem actually works. Not metaphorically, literally. Your brain continues working on problems during sleep. But it works differently. It explores paths your waking mind would never take. It's less constrained by logic and more open to wild possibilities. Many artists, writers, and scientists keep journals by their beds for this reason. They know dreams are a source of ideas, of images and concepts and solutions that only emerge when the conscious mind steps aside. They've learned to catch these gifts before they evaporate in the morning light. You don't need to be a genius for this to work. Regular people solve regular problems in dreams all the time. Where you left your keys, how to reorganize a room, what to say in a difficult conversation. The answer comes during sleep because your brain was free to think in new patterns. Dreams are like brainstorming sessions with no bad ideas allowed. Everything gets tried, most of it gets forgotten. But occasionally, something survives the transition to waking. Something new. Something you couldn't have thought of any other way. Your sleeping brain is more creative than your waking brain. Less restricted. More willing to experiment. Tonight, it might show you something you've been trying to figure out for weeks. Or it might just entertain you with impossible scenarios. Either way, it's working in ways that only dreams allow. Not all dreams are pleasant or creative. Some are terrifying. Nightmares wake you up with your heart racing, covered in sweat, feeling genuine fear. But even these scary dreams serve a purpose. Nightmares are your brain's threat simulator. Think of them as practice runs for danger. Your brain creates frightening scenarios so you can experience fear and practice responding to it without any real risk. It's a training exercise, a drill for your survival instincts. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. Our ancestors faced real threats regularly. Predators, hostile groups, environmental dangers. The individuals who could rehearse their fear responses in sleep had an advantage. They'd already experienced the feeling of being chased or attacked, even if only in dreams. When real danger came, they were slightly more prepared. Your brain still runs these drills, even though you probably don't face predators anymore. The threats in nightmares often reflect modern anxieties. Being chased might represent work pressure. Falling might represent fear of failure. Being trapped might represent feeling stuck in life. The brain updates the scenarios, but keeps the same basic function. Rehearsing. Response to threat. Children have nightmares more frequently than adults. This makes sense. They're still learning about the world, still building their understanding of danger. Their brains need more practice runs, more simulations. As you get older and gain more real experience, nightmares typically decrease. You've already run enough drills. Some nightmares are direct processing of real trauma. If something genuinely frightening happened to you, your brain will replay it in dreams. This can feel horrible, but it's the same emotional processing we talked about earlier. Your brain trying to integrate the experience, trying to reduce its emotional power. With trauma, this process is more difficult and takes longer, sometimes too long. Sometimes the nightmares themselves become part of the problem. But typical nightmares, the kind everyone has occasionally, these are healthy. They're your brain maintaining your threat response system, making sure fear still works, making sure you remember how to react when something scary happens. Interestingly, the most common nightmare themes are universal across cultures. Being chased, falling, dying, losing teeth, being naked in public. These tap into fundamental human anxieties, things that threatened our ancestors and still trigger fear responses in us today. The intensity of nightmares often correlates with stress levels. More stress means more nightmares. Your brain has more to process, more anxiety to work through, more threats, real or imagined, to simulate and prepare for. When your life calms down, nightmares usually decrease. Some people rarely have nightmares. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It might mean they process anxiety differently during the day, or their brain uses other types of dreams to handle stress. Everyone's system is slightly different. When you wake from a nightmare, your body needs a moment to realize the threat wasn't real. Your heart is racing. Your breathing is fast. Stress chemicals are flooding your system. This is your survival response, activated by a dream. It proves how real dreams feel to your brain, how seriously it takes these simulations. Nightmares are uncomfortable, but they're not harmful. They're training, preparation, your brain keeping you sharp, making sure you're ready if something truly dangerous ever happens. Even in sleep, even in fear, your brain is trying to protect you. When your brain populates these dreams, both pleasant ones and nightmares, it uses familiar faces. You rarely dream about complete strangers. Almost everyone in your dreams is someone you've seen before. Your best friend appears, your family members, co-workers, that person you went to school with years ago, even people you've only seen once, like a cashier or someone who passed you on the street. Your brain files away faces and pulls them out to fill your dream worlds. This happens because your brain can't actually create new faces from nothing. Not while dreaming. It can only work with faces already stored in memory. So every person you encounter in a dream is built from your mental catalogue of human faces. Sometimes the brain combines features, takes one person's eyes and another person's hair, mixes characteristics from multiple people into one dream character. But the raw materials all come from faces you've actually seen. Your dreams are populated entirely by your personal cast of characters. This is why dream characters often feel familiar even when you can't place them. Your brain knows this face. It's in the files. But it might be someone you saw briefly months ago, someone you passed in a crowd, someone whose face registered even though you never consciously thought about them. They're stored anyway, and now they're in your dream. The people who appear most often in dreams are the people you think about most, your close relationships, people you see regularly, people who occupy space in your thoughts. Your brain is simply reflecting your waking preoccupations. If someone is important to you, they show up in your dreams. But dreams aren't always about the actual person. Sometimes your brain casts someone you know to play a role in the dream story. Your mother might appear, but represent authority in general. Your friend might show up, but represent loyalty or betrayal or humor. The face is borrowed, but the meaning is symbolic. Other times, the person is genuinely about themselves. You dream about your partner because you're thinking about your relationship. You dream about your child because they're on your mind. You dream about a friend you miss. These dreams are more direct. The person means what they mean. Dreams involving other people often help you process your relationships. You work through conflicts, explore feelings, practice conversations. Your brain uses dream space to think about your social world, to understand people better, to figure out how you feel about them. Interestingly, how people behave in your dreams says more about you than about them. If someone acts mean in your dream, it might reflect your fears about the relationship, not their actual personality. If someone is kind, it reflects your feelings toward them. Dreams are your internal world. Everyone in them is playing parts in your story. Dead loved ones appear in dreams too. This can be comforting or unsettling depending on the dream. But it's normal. Their faces are still stored in your memory. Your brain can still cast them in dream roles. For many people, these dreams feel like visits, like connection beyond death. Scientifically, they're memories being activated. But the comfort they bring is real regardless. Your dreams are social spaces, populated by everyone you've ever seen. Each face a memory, each person a piece of your mental world brought to life in sleep. The people in your dreams reflect your thoughts, but so does everything else. Your dreams are mirrors of your waking preoccupations. Spend your day thinking about something, and it'll show up in your dreams that night. Maybe not directly, maybe not in the exact form you were thinking about, but the theme will appear. The underlying concern will surface. This is called dream continuity. Your dreams continue the thoughts and feelings from your waking hours. They don't come from nowhere. They grow from the soil of your daily mental life. If you're stressed about work, you'll dream about work, or situations that feel like work, tasks you can't complete, projects going wrong, bosses giving feedback. The specifics might be strange, but the core anxiety is the same one you carried all day. If you're excited about an upcoming trip, travel will show up in your dreams. You might dream about packing, about the destination, about getting lost on the way there. Your anticipation feeds into dream content. If you spent the day playing a video game, you might dream in the logic of that game. Gamers often report dreams where they're still playing, still collecting items or solving puzzles or navigating digital worlds. The mental patterns from gaming continue into sleep. Students studying for exams dream about tests. Athletes training for competition dream about their sport. Artists working on projects dream about their art. Whatever occupies your waking mind feeds your dreaming mind. This works with emotions too. Go to bed angry and you'll likely have aggressive dreams. Go to bed anxious and you'll have stressful dreams. Go to bed happy and peaceful. Your dreams will probably be calmer. your emotional state bleeds into sleep. Even physical sensations influence dreams. Hungry people dream about food more often. Thirsty people dream about drinking. Your body's needs become part of the dream landscape. The mind and body stay connected even in sleep. This continuity between wake and sleep shows that dreams aren't random. They're not separate from your life. They're extensions of it. Your brain doesn't switch to a completely different channel when you sleep. It keeps processing the same material, just in a different way. The things you actively try not to think about also appear in dreams. Suppressed thoughts have a way of surfacing during sleep. You spend all day pushing something out of your mind. That night, it shows up in a dream. Your brain won't ignore what you're ignoring. It processes everything eventually. This is why dreams can feel so personal. They're built from your specific life, your concerns, your relationships, your memories, your fears and hopes and questions. No two people have the same dreams because no two people think about the exact same things. It's also why dream interpretation is so individual. A dream about water might mean different things to different people. To someone who loves swimming, it might represent joy. To someone who nearly drowned, it might represent danger. The symbol matters less than what it means to you specifically. Your dreams are conversations your brain has with itself about your life. Everything you experience during the day becomes raw material. Everything you feel becomes fuel. Your waking world shapes your dreaming world constantly. Tonight's dreams will reflect today's thoughts. Tomorrow's dreams will reflect tomorrow's thoughts. It's an endless cycle, your mind in constant dialogue with itself, awake and asleep, processing, always processing. Most of the time, you're swept along by your dreams. You experience them without questioning them. But some people, sometimes, realize they're dreaming while still asleep. They become conscious inside the dream. This is called lucid dreaming. It sounds impossible. How can you be asleep and awake at the same time? But it happens, and it's been scientifically verified. In lucid dreams, you know it's a dream. You're aware that nothing is real, that you're lying in bed somewhere, but you're still experiencing the dream world fully, still seeing it, still moving through it. The difference is, you know what it is. This awareness sometimes gives you control. If you know you're dreaming, you can decide what happens next. Want to fly? You can fly. Want to change the scene? You can try. The dream becomes partially controllable. Like being the director of a movie you're also starring in. Scientists confirmed lucid dreaming through eye movements. Lucid dreamers were taught to move their eyes in a specific pattern when they became aware in a dream. Left, right, left, right. A signal. Researchers watched their sleeping subjects and saw it happen. The predetermined eye movements appeared during REM sleep. The dreamers were conscious enough to send a message from inside the dream. Not everyone experiences lucid dreams. Some people never do. Others have them occasionally without trying. A few people have them regularly and can trigger them intentionally. The most common trigger is noticing something impossible. You're reading and the text shifts. You realize text shouldn't shift. You're flying. You realize you can't actually fly. These impossibilities sometimes spark awareness. your logical brain wakes up just enough to recognize dream logic as dream logic. Some people practice techniques to increase lucid dreaming. Reality checks during the day, looking at their hands throughout the day and asking, "Am I dreaming?" The habit carries into dreams. They look at their dream hands and the question triggers awareness. But lucid dreaming isn't necessary for healthy sleep. It's not better than regular dreaming. It's just different. An interesting phenomenon some people experience. Don't feel like you're missing something if you never have lucid dreams. Actually, some researchers think too much lucidity might interfere with normal dream functions. Regular dreams process emotions and memories automatically. When you become lucid and take control, you might interrupt that processing. You might steer the dream away from what your brain was trying to work on. Lucid dreams also tend to be shorter. The effort of maintaining awareness often causes you to wake up. The delicate balance of being conscious while sleeping is hard to maintain. Most lucid dreams last just a few minutes before either full waking or slipping back into regular dreaming. For people who do experience them, lucid dreams can be profound. The feeling of total freedom within a world you know isn't real. The ability to explore impossible physics, to face fears knowing they can't actually hurt you. It's a unique state of consciousness. But whether your dreams are lucid or not, they're serving their purpose. Processing, healing, creating, maintaining your brain. You don't need to control them. You don't need to be aware during them. They work perfectly well on their own, in the mysterious darkness behind your sleeping eyes. Sometimes, a dream feels prophetic. You dream about someone you haven't thought about in years. The next day, they call. You dream about an accident. Then, you hear about one. It feels like the dream showed you the future. But dreams don't predict what's coming. They just feel like they do sometimes. This happens because of how human memory and attention work. You have thousands of dreams. Most of them don't match anything that happens later. You forget those completely. But the one time a dream seems to match reality, you remember it. You notice it. It stands out dramatically. This is called confirmation bias. You remember the hits and forget the misses. If you dream about 100 different people over a year, eventually one of them will contact you by pure chance. That one match feels magical. The 99 dreams that meant nothing disappear from memory. Your brain is also constantly looking for patterns. It's trying to make connections. When you dream about an accident and then hear about one, your brain links them. But accidents happen every day, thousands of them. The timing is coincidence, not prediction. Sometimes the prophecy works backward. You dream about someone. Then you unconsciously think about them during the day. You're more likely to reach out, more likely to notice if they post on social media, more likely to remember them if someone mentions them. The dream didn't predict the contact. It influenced you to create the contact. Dreams also deal in vague symbols and feelings. If you dream about loss, that could match dozens of different real events. Losing keys, ending a relationship, missing an opportunity, a pet dying. The dream is broad enough to fit many situations. When something loss-related happens, it feels like the dream predicted it. But the dream was too vague to be a real prediction. Humans have been trying to find meaning in dreams for thousands of years. Ancient cultures thought dreams were messages from gods, prophecies, warnings. We've evolved past that understanding scientifically. But the feeling remains. Dreams still feel significant, still feel like they might mean something beyond themselves. They do mean something, but not about the future. They mean something about you right now, about your current emotions and thoughts, about what your brain is processing. The meaning is internal, not external. That dream about your old friend calling, you probably miss them on some level. Your brain brought them into a dream because they're stored in memory and connected to certain feelings. The dream didn't cause them to call, but it might reflect that you've been thinking about old connections, about the past, about people you've lost touch with. Dreams feel prophetic because they're emotionally true. They reflect real concerns and real patterns in your thinking. When external reality happens to match those internal patterns, it creates a sense of prediction. But it's pattern matching, not fortune telling. Your dreams are about your present, not your future. They're processing what's already in your mind, what's already happening in your emotional world. They're not windows to tomorrow. They're mirrors of today. And that's actually more useful. Dreams that show you your current state of mind can help you understand yourself. Dreams that pretend to show the future would just be noise, useless anxiety about things you can't control. While dreams aren't magic and can't show the future, they do something arguably more important. They keep your brain healthy. Dreaming isn't just entertainment for your sleeping mind, it's maintenance. Essential work that keeps your brain functioning properly. During REM sleep, your brain clears out waste products that build up during the day. Think of it like taking out the trash. All day long, your neurons are working, firing, using energy, creating waste as a byproduct. If this waste stayed in your brain, it would cause problems. So, during sleep, your brain activates a cleaning system. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through your brain, washing away metabolic waste. This happens during all sleep stages, but especially during dreaming. The waste gets flushed out, carried away, disposed of. Your brain literally cleans itself while you sleep. This cleaning process might be connected to diseases like Alzheimer's. Research suggests that people who don't get enough REM sleep accumulate more of the proteins associated with dementia. The brain's cleaning system doesn't run long enough. Waste builds up over years. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's about long-term brain health. Dreams also help consolidate memories. During REM sleep, your brain sorts through the day's experiences. It decides what to keep and what to discard. Important information gets transferred from temporary storage to long-term memory. Unimportant details get deleted. This is why studying before sleep helps you remember better. Your brain processes the information overnight, strengthens the neural connections, files it away properly. You wake up with the knowledge more firmly embedded than it was the night before. Dreams strengthen neural pathways too. When you dream about activities, the same brain regions activate as when you actually do those activities. A musician dreaming about playing is giving their brain practice. An athlete dreaming about their sport is reinforcing muscle memory patterns. Not as effective as real practice, but still beneficial. Your immune system gets a boost from good sleep too. During REM sleep, your body produces certain proteins that help fight infection and inflammation. People who don't sleep well get sick more often. Their immune systems are weaker. Dreams are part of the sleep that keeps you physically healthy, not just mentally healthy. REM sleep also helps regulate emotions at a chemical level. It resets your emotional baseline, reduces reactivity, helps you handle stress better. Without enough dreaming sleep, people become more emotionally volatile, more anxious, more easily upset. The brain needs dream time to maintain emotional balance. Children's brains benefit even more from dreams. All that REM sleep they get is building their neural architecture, creating connections, establishing pathways. Adult brains maintain themselves during dreams. Children's brains grow. This is why sleep deprivation is so harmful. You're not just tired, you're denying your brain essential maintenance time. The cleaning doesn't happen. Memory consolidation suffers. Emotional regulation breaks down. The brain can't keep itself healthy without sufficient dreaming time. So while dreams might not predict the future or carry messages from the universe, they do something much more concrete. They keep your brain working. They maintain the organ that makes you who you are. Every dream is part of your brain taking care of itself, making sure you wake up ready to think, feel, and function properly. While the biology of dreaming is universal, the content of dreams changes across cultures. People around the world dream differently based on their beliefs, values, and daily experiences. In some cultures, dreams are considered messages from ancestors. People wake up and share their dreams with elders who interpret them as guidance from the spirit world. The dreams themselves might feature ancestors more frequently because the culture expects them to appear. Other cultures view dreams as windows to parallel worlds, real places you visit while sleeping. These beliefs shape the dreams themselves. If you grow up thinking dreams are real journeys, you experience them differently than someone who thinks dreams are just brain activity. Western cultures tend to dream more about individual concerns, personal achievement, career, romantic relationships, solo adventures. This reflects cultural values around individualism. The dreams mirror what matters in daily life. Collectivist cultures often dream more about groups, family, community, social harmony. These themes appear more frequently because they're more central to waking thought. The brain dreams about what it thinks about during the day. The settings of dreams vary too. Someone living in a dense city dreams about buildings and crowds and traffic. Someone living in a rural area dreams about open spaces and nature. Your environment shapes your dream landscape. Your brain uses familiar settings to build its nighttime worlds. Historical moment matters as well. Before electricity, people's sleep patterns were different. They often woke in the middle of the night for an hour or two. During this time, they reflected on their dreams, discussed them. This practice shaped how dreams were experienced and remembered. Modern humans sleep differently, so we dream differently too. Technology changes dreams. People who grew up with smartphones dream about texting and social media. Older generations rarely have these elements in their dreams. Your brain incorporates the tools and technologies you use daily. Trauma creates cultural dream patterns too. Societies that have experienced war or disaster show different dream content than peaceful societies. Collective trauma leaves marks on collective dreaming. The fears and memories become shared themes. Even color in dreams varies by culture and time. Before color television became common, many people reported dreaming in black and white. After color TV spread, color dreams became more common. What we see during the day influences how our brains render dreams. Languages shape dreams too. Bilingual people sometimes dream in different languages. The language choice often relates to the dream's emotional content or setting. Your brain picks the language that fits the dream's context. Religious and spiritual beliefs strongly influence dream content. People who pray regularly dream about religious themes more often. Atheists rarely dream about gods or angels. Your belief system shapes what your brain considers possible or meaningful in dreams. Despite these differences, universal themes exist. Being chased, falling, flying, losing teeth. These appear across all cultures. Basic human experiences and fears transcend cultural boundaries. The specifics change, but the underlying patterns remain. Dreams are both personal and cultural, shaped by your individual brain, but also by the world around you, the society you live in, the beliefs you hold, the language you speak, the time period you exist in. Your dreams are uniquely yours, but also products of your place and time in human history. And yet, beneath all these cultural differences, beneath the personal variations and individual experiences, dreaming connects you to something ancient, something that stretches back through millions of years. Your ancestors dreamed, every single one of them, going back thousands of generations, back before humans were humans, back when we were something else entirely. The mammals that came before us dreamed, the small creatures that survived the dinosaurs, the early primates in the trees, the first humans walking across African plains. All of them closed their eyes and experienced REM sleep. All of them had dreams. This means dreaming is older than language, older than tools, older than fire. It's one of the most ancient things about you, a feature so fundamental that evolution has kept it running for hundreds of millions of years. Think about that. Your brain does something tonight that brains have been doing since before continents were in their current positions, since before flowers existed, since before most of the species we know today evolved. Dreaming has survived because it works, because it matters, because brains need it. Right now, all over the world, people are sleeping and dreaming. Millions of people, experiencing their own private worlds, processing their own emotions, building their own stories. You're part of this vast, simultaneous event, this global phenomenon of consciousness turning inward. Animals are dreaming too, dogs and cats in homes, wild creatures in forests and oceans. All those mammal brains running the same ancient program, creating their own versions of dream worlds. You share this with them, this nightly journey into inner space. Tonight, when you close your eyes, you'll join them. You'll do what your species has always done, what life has done since dreaming first evolved. You'll let your conscious mind rest and your dreaming mind take over. Your brain will create worlds, tell stories, process emotions, clear waste, consolidate memories, maintain itself, all without your conscious effort, all automatically, all because of processes refined over evolutionary time into something remarkably effective. You might remember your dreams tomorrow, you might not. Either way, they'll have served their purpose. They'll have done their work. You'll wake up with your brain maintained, your emotions processed, your memories organized, ready for another day. And tomorrow night, you'll do it again, as you will for the rest of your life, as humans will continue doing for as long as humans exist, as mammals will do for as long as mammals exist. This ancient cycle of waking and sleeping, of consciousness and dreams. You're lying in bed now, comfortable and warm. Your body is getting heavy. Your thoughts are starting to slow. Soon you'll cross over into sleep, and then into dreams, into that mysterious world your brain creates just for you. If you enjoyed this journey through the science of dreams, please like and subscribe. We create these gentle science stories every day to help you rest peacefully. Leave a comment about a dream you remember. Share this quiet space with others who love learning while they relax. Thank you for spending this time exploring dreams with us. May your own dreams tonight be peaceful. Sleep well.